Dutch's survival. Dutch Schaefer survived his encounter with the jungle predator in 1987, but what happened to him after? Fans have theorized for decades that Dutch didn't just fade into obscurity after the Guatemala mission. The theory suggests he was recruited into a secret government program dedicated to studying and combating predator threats. Evidence for this comes from his complete absence in sequels, despite being the only human to defeat a predator in single combat at that point. Arnold Schwarzenegger was approached multiple times to return for Predator 2 and later films, with scripts specifically written around Dutch's continued involvement in anti-predator operations. The character's disappearance from the franchise, despite his significance, suggests something more than simple casting issues. Some fans point to the Predator Expanded Universe comics and novels, where Dutch appears as a scarred, obsessed hunter tracking predator activity worldwide. While not canon to the films, these stories may reflect original intentions for the character. The theory gains weight when you consider that someone with Dutch's knowledge would be invaluable to any government agency dealing with extraterrestrial hunters. His survival and recruitment would explain both his absence and the government's seemingly prepared response in later films. Jungle Hunter's rank. The original Predator from 1987 wasn't an elite warrior. He was a rookie on his first hunt. This theory completely recontextualizes the first film's events. Supporters point to several behavioral indicators that suggest inexperience. The jungle hunter made tactical errors that seasoned hunters wouldn't, like leaving obvious signs of his presence and engaging prey in disadvantageous situations. His trophy collection was relatively modest compared to predators seen in later films. He also relied heavily on advanced technology rather than skill, using his plasma caster in situations where more experienced hunters might trust their physical abilities. The most compelling evidence comes from his final confrontation with Dutch. An elite predator warrior presumably wouldn't struggle so much against a single unarmed human, even one as capable as Dutch. The theory suggests this was a coming-of-age hunt, a rite of passage for young predators to prove themselves worthy. This would explain why he was hunting alone rather than with a clan, and why he seemed to be learning and adapting throughout the film rather than executing a perfected strategy. If true, it means humanity's first major victory against the predators was against their equivalent of a teenage driver, not their best warrior. City Hunter's Revenge. The Los Angeles Predator from Predator 2 came to Earth with a specific mission: avenge the jungle hunter's death. The timeline supports this theory perfectly. The first film takes place in Guatemala in 1987, and the second film occurs in Los Angeles just 3 years later in 1990. That's an extremely short gap for what should be random hunting visits to Earth. Fans argue the city hunter was either related to the jungle hunter or part of his clan. The most significant evidence comes from the ending, when the elder predator gives Lieutenant Harrigan a flintlock pistol dated 1715. This gesture suggests the predators have been visiting Earth for centuries, but the city hunter's specific timing wasn't coincidence. The theory proposes he was tracking whoever or whatever killed his fellow hunter, leading him to areas with heavy conflict and violence where elite soldiers might be found. Los Angeles in 1990, engulfed in gang warfare and extreme heat, provided the perfect hunting ground. The city hunter's aggressive behavior throughout the film, his willingness to break traditional hunting codes by killing unarmed victims, and his seemingly personal vendetta against Harrigan all suggest emotional motivation rather than sport. When Harrigan defeats him, the elder predator's arrival with other clan members appears less like a coincidental rescue party and more like a backup team that knew one of their own was on a dangerous mission. Antarctic Ritual. Why would predators choose Antarctica as a hunting ground in Alien vs. Predator? The theory suggests it wasn't arbitrary, but deeply intentional. Antarctica offered the perfect isolated location where ancient predators could establish a long-term relationship with early human civilizations without interference from other populations. According to the film, predators visited Earth every 100 years to conduct hunts in an underground pyramid. The extreme cold provided natural containment for xenomorphs, as the harsh environment would kill any specimens that escaped the pyramid's confines. The theory expands on what the film showed. Ancient humans weren't just tribute, they were partners in a mutually beneficial arrangement. Predators taught these early civilizations advanced construction techniques, astronomy, and cultural practices in exchange for host bodies and hunting grounds. The pyramid's design incorporated failsafes that would trigger if the hunt went wrong, including the self-destruct mechanism seen in the film. Antarctica's geographic isolation meant that even catastrophic catastrophic failure wouldn't threaten human civilization as a whole. Fans point to the sophisticated nature of the arrangement as evidence that predators view humans as more than mere prey. The 100-year cycle also suggests ritual significance beyond simple hunting trips. This was spiritual practice, tradition, and possibly even a way for predator clans to maintain honor and test their youth in a controlled but deadly environment. Weyland's real goal. Charles Bishop Weyland knew exactly what was buried under Antarctica, and archaeological discovery was never his true objective. The theory argues that Weyland Industries had been tracking predator activity for years before the events of Alien vs. Predator. Weyland's satellite network detected the heat bloom from the pyramid activation, but his immediate mobilization of a full expedition team suggests prior preparation rather than spontaneous scientific curiosity. He assembled a team of the world's best in multiple specialized fields within days, complete with expensive custom equipment. That level of coordination requires advanced planning. The theory points to Weyland's terminal cancer diagnosis as his real motivation. He was dying and saw predator technology as his last chance at survival or legacy. Throughout the film, Weyland makes comments about building a legacy and being remembered, but his actions suggest he wanted something more tangible than his name on a discovery. When he arms himself with a makeshift flamethrower to confront the predator, he's not acting like a dying man seeking glory through a final archaeological find. He's acting like someone who came prepared for combat and expected to encounter something he'd researched. The theory suggests Weyland had access to classified government files about the 1987 and 1990 incidents, or perhaps his company had recovered predator technology from other sources. His goal was to acquire advanced alien technology that could revolutionize his company's capabilities and potentially save his life. Alexa's mark, Alexa Woods, received the mark of a blooded warrior from the predator called Scar, but the theory asks what happened after. In Alien vs. Predator, Alexa proved herself by fighting alongside Scar against xenomorphs and ultimately killed the alien queen. When Scar marked her with the xenomorph's acidic blood, he was performing a traditional ceremony indicating she had earned warrior status in predator culture. After Scar's death, the elder predator and his hunting party arrive, retrieve Scar's body, and acknowledge Alexa before leaving. They also leave her with Scar's combi stick spear as a gift. The theory suggests this wasn't goodbye, but an introduction. Alexa became the only human in modern times to be officially recognized as a warrior by predator culture. According to predator honor codes established across the franchise, warriors who prove themselves may be contacted again for future hunts or even recruited for special purposes. Fans speculate that Alexa may have been approached by predators for subsequent encounters, possibly serving as a liaison between humans and predators or participating in additional hunts. Her knowledge of both xenomorphs and predator tactics would make her uniquely valuable. The theory also suggests her mark would be recognized by any predator clan, granting her a level of protection or respect. Some versions of this theory propose she may have been involved in the events of later films behind the scenes, or that her mark explains increased predator interest in human warriors throughout the franchise. Quick note, if you're finding this interesting, I create videos like this all the time. Subscribing would really help out. Super predators. The larger, more aggressive predators from the 2010 film Predators aren't just bigger, they're fundamentally different. The film introduces a clear physical and behavioral distinction between the super predators and what fans call classic predators. Super predators stand taller, have different facial structures, more prominent tusks, and completely different armor designs. The theory debates whether these are subspecies that evolve separately or whether they're genetically modified predators. Evidence for subspecies includes the fact that they have their own distinct culture, hunting practices, and technology. They're more brutal, less honorable, and seemingly don't follow the same hunting codes as classic predators. The crucified classic predator found on their game preserve planet suggests active conflict between the two groups. Evidence for genetic modification comes from the super predator's enhanced physical capabilities and the franchise's established interest in genetic experimentation. The Predator from 2018 explicitly explores predator DNA harvesting and hybrid creation, suggesting this technology exists within their civilization. Some fans theorize that super predators represent a military experiment gone rogue, creating a faction of enhanced warriors who rejected traditional predator culture. Others suggest they're a warrior caste that modified themselves to become more effective hunters. Either way, their existence indicates predator civilization isn't monolithic, but divided by philosophy, genetics, or both. Game Preserve Planet. The planet in Predators isn't unique. It's one of many hunting reserves scattered across the galaxy. Throughout the film, characters discuss how they were abducted from Earth at different times and locations. The theory extrapolates that if predators maintain one game preserve planet, they likely maintain dozens or hundreds Earth's missing persons cases throughout history could partly be explained by predator abductions for these reserves. The planet functions like a safari park, stocked with dangerous prey from multiple worlds. Evidence includes the variety of alien creatures encountered, suggesting the predators collect specimens from many planets. The automated nature of the abduction process implies a systematic operation running continuously. Fans point to the sheer scale required to maintain such a facility. Someone needs to transport prey regularly, maintain the environment, and ensure the hunting grounds stay challenging. The theory suggests an entire infrastructure of support staff, prisoner transport ships, and administrative oversight. This reframes predators not as occasional visitors to Earth, but as active participants in a galaxy-wide hunting industry. The game preserve represents industrial-scale trophy hunting. Human abductions could have been occurring for centuries, with historical disappearances like the Roanoke colony or various vanished expeditions potentially explained by predator harvesting. The 2010 film shows just one small group's experience, but the implications suggest thousands of humans might currently be trapped on various predator hunting reserves. Royce's return. Royce and the survivors at the end of Predators watch another dropship arrive, implying their ordeal isn't over. The theory explores what happens next. Does Royce continue surviving on the game-preserved planet? Does he eventually die there? Or does he find a way home? Fans note that Royce demonstrated exceptional tactical intelligence, killing multiple predators and learning their patterns quickly. If anyone could survive long-term on a predator game preserve, it's him. The theory suggests several possibilities. First, Royce might gather enough weapons and technology from defeated predators to jury-rig an escape, either signaling for help or hijacking predator transport ships. Second, he might establish a survivor community, uniting abducted humans and aliens against their captors. The film shows he's capable of leadership and strategic thinking. Third, and most darkly, he might survive so long that he becomes a legend among predator clans, a prize target that elite hunters seek out. Some versions of this theory propose that Royce eventually becomes similar to the predators themselves, hunting to survive until the line between prisoner and participant blurs. The lack of a sequel means Royce's fate remains unresolved, but the theory maintains that someone with his skills wouldn't go down easily. Clan Civil War. Predator clans are engaged in an active civil war over hunting philosophy and honor codes. This theory connects multiple films into a broader narrative about predator cultural conflict. The most explicit evidence comes from Predators, where super predators have crucified a classic predator as either punishment or warning. That single image implies deep animosity between factions. The theory proposes that one faction follows traditional honor codes, hunting worthy prey according to ancient rituals, while another faction embraces more aggressive tactics, genetic modification, and dishonorable kills. Throughout the franchise, we see predators with varying adherence to honor codes. Some spare unarmed victims, pregnant women, and children, while others massacre indiscriminately. The theory explains these inconsistencies as factional differences rather than individual choice. The Civil War might explain why Earth receives so much predator attention. It's not that Earth is special, but that different factions use Earth as a proving ground for their competing philosophies. Traditional clans conduct ritualistic hunts, following strict codes, while aggressive factions treat Earth as a training ground for more brutal tactics. The fugitive predator from the predator potentially represents a third faction trying to prevent either side from destroying humanity entirely. Fans point to the elder predator's interactions with humans as evidence of a diplomatic or traditionalist faction that respects worthy opponents. The Civil War theory reframes the franchise from random hunting trips to humanity caught in the crossfire of an alien culture war. Fugitive's mission. The fugitive predator's true mission in The Predator might not be what the film presents. According to the movie, the fugitive comes to Earth as a traitor, bringing technology to help humanity defend itself against his own species. However, fans theorize his real agenda was more complex. The fugitive specifically delivers the Predator Killer Suit, an advanced weapons system designed for human use. The theory questions whether this was altruism or strategy. One interpretation suggests the fugitive belongs to a predator faction, opposed to the DNA harvesting program. By arming humans with advanced technology, he creates a stronger fighting force that can resist abduction and experimentation. This serves his faction's interest by undermining their rivals' plans. Another interpretation proposes the fugitive was conducting a field test. Give humans powerful technology and observe how they use it, gathering intelligence on human tactical thinking and combat adaptation. The Predator Killer Suit could be bait to identify which humans possess the greatest warrior potential. The theory also considers that the fugitive might have been playing a longer game, knowing that the upgrade Predator would follow him to Earth. By bringing the suit and allowing certain events to unfold, unfold, he ensures humanity gets a demonstration of advanced predator technology while also revealing the existence of the DNA harvesting program. His death might have been acceptable collateral in a plan to warn and arm humanity for a coming larger conflict. Autism upgrade. The Predator introduces a controversial subplot about autism representing human evolution. The film reveals that predators have been harvesting DNA from various species to create hybrid warriors, and they've identified autism as a genetic upgrade worth acquiring. The theory attempts to make sense of this bizarre narrative choice. In the film's logic, autism represents enhanced pattern recognition, sensory processing, and cognitive abilities that predators consider evolutionarily advantageous. Rory McKenna, a young autistic boy, can intuitively operate predator technology and decode their language. The upgrade predator specifically targets him for extraction. Fans debate whether this subplot reflects actual predator research or just the specific interest of one faction. The theory that makes the most sense within established franchise lore suggests predators have been collecting genetic material from thousands of species for millennia. They're not exclusively targeting autistic humans, but rather cataloging any genetic variation that might enhance their warrior caste. Autism caught their attention as one of many human variations worth studying. The film unfortunately frames this as the primary goal when it's more likely a small part of a massive genetic database. The predator killer suit's neural interface might require cognitive processing that autistic individuals possess in greater degree, making them ideal test subjects. The theory attempts to contextualize a poorly executed plot point within the franchise's broader themes of predators seeking worthy opponents and studying prey species for advantages. Government conspiracy Project Stargazer didn't begin with the events of The Predator. It's been operating since 1987. This theory connects all modern Predator films through a secret government program that recovers and studies Predator technology. After Dutch's encounter in Guatemala, the government would have investigated the destroyed jungle site and found evidence of extraterrestrial involvement. 3 years later, after the Los Angeles incident in Predator 2, they nearly captured a live predator and definitely witnessed the elder predator's arrival. These events would have triggered the formation of a dedicated xenobiological research program. The theory points to Project Stargazer as the culmination of decades of secret work. The film shows they possess live predators, recovered technology, and extensive research facilities. That level of infrastructure requires sustained funding and development over many years, not a sudden response to one incident. Fans note that government agencies in multiple films demonstrate surprising familiarity with predator behavior and capabilities. In Predator 2, Agent Keyes leads a team that seems well prepared for alien hunters. In The Predator, Project Stargazer has detailed protocols for containing and studying predators. The theory suggests recovered predator technology has been reverse-engineered and possibly integrated into classified military programs. Every predator encounter leaves behind evidence: damaged spacecraft, destroyed equipment, dead predators. Over 30-plus years, the accumulated material would provide substantial research opportunities. The government conspiracy theory unifies the franchise timeline and explains how humans in later films demonstrate increasing capability. Comanche First Contact. The events of Prey represent the first documented predator hunt on Earth, establishing 3 centuries of human contact. Set in 1719 on the northern Great Plains, the film shows Naru, a young Comanche woman, encountering and defeating a predator hunting her tribe. The theory proposes this wasn't just another hunt, but a pivotal moment in predator-human relations. This predator came to Earth specifically to test whether humans qualified as worthy prey. Before 1719, predators might have visited Earth but hunted other species: bears, big cats, or extinct megafauna. Naru's victory proved humans possessed the intelligence, adaptability, and warrior spirit that predators valued. This explains why predator activity on Earth increases dramatically in subsequent centuries. The flintlock pistol that plays a crucial role in Prey's ending is the same pistol given to Lieutenant Harrigan in Predator 2, dated 1715. The theory suggests that pistol belonged to one of the French trappers killed in Prey, was taken by Naru as a trophy from the predator, and eventually made its way into predator possession, becoming a clan artifact. When the elder predator gives it to Harrigan 271 years later, he's acknowledging another warrior's victory, while also honoring the first human who proved worthy. Prey establishes the template for all future predator hunts on Earth, seek worthy human warriors in situations of conflict and violence, test them under extreme conditions, and honor those who succeed. Naru's legacy. What happened to Naru after she returned to her tribe with the predator's head? The theory explores how her victory shaped Comanche oral tradition and potentially established a bloodline of predator hunters. Naru promised to protect her people, and the film's ending shows her as a recognized warrior within her tribe. The theory suggests she spent the rest of her life preparing her people for potential predator returns. Comanche oral traditions might preserve stories of the star creature, passed down through generations as both warning and instruction manual. Naru would have trained others in the tactics that worked against the predator, using the environment, exploiting their technology against them, and understanding their honor code. The flintlock pistol's journey from Naru to the elder predator implies she or her descendants eventually encountered predators again. Some versions of this theory propose Naru lived long enough to face another predator hunt, possibly giving the pistol to a predator warrior who earned it through honorable combat. Other versions suggest her descendants maintained a secret tradition of preparing for predator encounters, explaining how the pistol eventually became a significant artifact in predator culture. The theory connects Prey to the broader franchise by suggesting that Naru's bloodline continued fighting predators across centuries, with various descendants proving themselves as warriors. Her legacy ensured that when predators returned to Earth, they found humans ready to fight. If this was up your alley, think about subscribing so you never miss future videos. Thanks for watching.